Hello and welcome to Refuse. I actually had no intention of making a video tonight because I actually just got home from work. It's been a very, very long day and my furnace is running, can you tell? So, that's one of the issues I picked up yesterday, and really, the only reason why I picked it up was because of Nightcrawler on the cover. I really kind of like the bearded look on him for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of more clean cut hair, and I've peeked at this book. I've flipped at it. Not this particular issue, but the previous issues of X-Men Red, and it looks dumb. And and yeah, is this book is it's dumb. I don't know how this book is still going on. Um, and I'll be honest, I really have not regularly followed the X-Men in a long time. Um, and every now and then I pick it up. I'm like, yeah, this book's still kind of bad. And so yeah, this is even right on the front here. The first page we get the openings. So let's see. Laura is not Wolverine anymore. Namor is currently at war with the surface world. So yeah, we need to cut those two out right there. And yeah, I don't really even know who some of these newer characters are, but this is X-Men Red, and as evidenced by the red, this is the Jean Grey show. Um, she's back. Oh my god, I did read that annual, and it was so bad. Um, I just realized oh yeah, she's on the other team. Um, Kitty calls, Kitty calls. Is that like a cat call? Um, Kitty calls Jean to let her know that Rachel is gone, and Jean knows that Cassandra Nova, Charles Xavier's twin sister, is behind it. So we get some scenes here where Nightcrawler asks to come with Jean, and she says, "I know how you feel about Rachel, I really do, but I need to do this alone." And they've been team members for so long. I know how you feel about Rachel. Remember, Nightcrawler and Rachel were on Excalibur together, and when they were in Excalibur, oh god, it's been a while since I read it. The Alan Davis issues, weren't they starting to make hints of something between Nightcrawler and Rachel? Maybe I'm misremembering, but at least it's rooted back to there. If I'm remembering correctly, it is. It's been a long day. But anyway, Nightcrawler says, all shocked, "You know about me and Rachel?" "Of course. You were practically screaming it at me every time I was in your head. You could have told me you'd been together." Um, wait, what? She knew, but you could have told me. How does one broach that subject? By the way, Jean, I've been sleeping with your daughter from another another alternate reality who has come back to the past. Yeah, it's weird. Even Jean says, "Please, we're X-Men. We've had it so much weirder." And so then we get basically the characters checking in with Jean. It's almost like a video game just before the final boss, and all the characters are saying one last thing. In this case, it's all stupid. Of course, we get Honey Badger. Um, "Gabby, I was once bonded with the Phoenix Force. It destroyed planets. I won't let another world be torn apart on my watch. This isn't something you can understand." Look at that look on her face, like, what? Then Gabby says, "Well, I was once turned into a telepathic alien queen who could communicate with other aliens across the universe. And the same day, I blew up an entire moon full of my alien hive." We get this face, these two derpy faces. I think I got new reaction images. And then, of course, she's so ahead of her, ahead of her age. "So sure, I might not know exactly how you feel, but there are degrees of experience." I didn't really mind this character, but between this and X-23, she really gets on my nerves. At least she's not as bouncy in that one. So then we get the Storm, the Storm check-in. And this has got one of the dumbest lines in this book. Did you always know you were going to bear the weight of the world on your shoulders? Because I was really questioning the decision, but now I understand why you added the shoulder pads. Um, Storm, did you happen to forget that outfit that she wore in the 90s with the big shoulder pads on it? They even used it in the cartoon. It's not like these are really new. Sure, they were more like the Wolverine type shoulder, but they were still shoulder pads. It was just a hard. This is such a forced setup for the line. And uh, Jean asked Storm to be ready to catch Rachel if she is able to free her, and we get the little bonding moment. So back at Genosha, the the island of mutants that sometimes gets destroyed, sometimes it's a haven. It's hard to keep track of it anymore. Cassandra says she's coming. Looks like our walkies will have to wait, Hound. She has Rachel chained and as a hound. Go, dog girl. I want to say this about Rachel, who's now Rachel Gray because she got pissed at Cyclops. Um, I love Rachel Summers. Um, I liked her going all the way back to, the early Uncanny X-Men, the 200s, back when Charles was gone and Magneto was leading the team, and, before she went and saw Spiral and got a new body, and then she, when she did come back, she was the Phoenix, and then she joined Excalibur. I always liked the character. I don't know what, even when she had the mullet, I don't know what it is. I just like the character. Um, yeah, I know she comes from Days of Future Past, but once she came into our timeline proper, I really liked the character and the whole thing about her being Rachel Gray because of the things that Cyclops did, and so she didn't want to carry his name anymore. And even though she's from an alternate reality, and he's not really her father, and yeah, her real father didn't do those. It's stupid. She's not Rachel Gray. She's Rachel Summers to me. So yeah, we get this really kind of cool panel here where Jean versus Rachel, and I should have skipped this panel. I'll skip a page coming up. So we do have a really good fight because we got three of the strongest telepaths, TK people, Cassandra Nova, Rachel Summers, and Jean Grey. And so, color coded for your convenience. Jean is that nice little purple, and Rachel's blasts tend to be green, and they're slamming into the ground. Then we cut back to the Jean's X-Men team, who Trinary is working on something for Jean, and this dude, I think that's Gentle, who I don't really know anything about, is asking to help. And they do make a point that, they're not going to tell him because Cassandra's a mind reader. The less people that know, the better. So he starts talking to Trinary and says, "Do you ever take a break?" "Sure, I read for a bit, I go for a walk, sometimes I need a reboot." "Of course, do you, And of course, way ahead of her age, Honey Badger says, "Oh God, nothing's supposed to be able to hurt me, and yet this is so painful. Lore, help them. Please use your snick powers. Slice through the awkward." And I have to give him credit on this. This is actually kind of funny. Especially if you read, like, X-Men back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean, like, back in the 80s. And if you read, like, the new Teen Titans, books that were really aimed at, the whole angst, and relationships and everything. Laura's bit here is I gotta give her credit. She says, "Trinary, you can talk to machines, but apparently you're not very good at listening to people." And she says, "What are you, how do you say that, Nesno? You fought a hawk. You should have the courage to ask a girl out." And of course, Trinary's surprised. I just love that cut to the chase, the no nonsense. And that honestly, this was my favorite part of the book. I'm going to skip the next page because it's actually, oh, look at this, more fuzz. I cannot, that's it, I'm putting new sheets down. I can't get rid of all this fuzz, and the light just makes it look even worse. Anyway, Rachel's losing the fight to Jean because she's fighting Cassandra in her head. And Cassandra says she's just going to kill Rachel since she's of no more use. And then Jean comes up with the plan. Cassandra, let her go. And look at this. This is, if you look at this could just as easily be Professor X and Jean having a little tryst here. But Jean's plan is that let Rachel go and Jean will stay in her place. She'll surrender. She won't stand against her. She'll lower her defenses. And so Cassandra does release Rachel. And Cassandra tells her, when Rachel says that she and Jean could fight Cassandra together, Cassandra says, listen to mommy, dog girl. Tail between your legs and run away. And Rachel just bats her, basically breaks her jaw off. And somehow, she's able to just reset her jaw and just continue on. But Jean, says, no, you hurt her, our deal's off. Jean talks Rachel into leaving and, just tells her, trust me. And as this issue goes on, the art seems to get worse. I don't know, some of these, look at that. So anyway, Jean says, you're alone, painfully. You don't have to do this. Despite everything, we could talk. And Cassandra says, really? And then just blows Jean to hell. And calls her, it says, goodbye, Jean. And, calls her an idiot. But then we find out that, that wasn't really Jean. And Jean starts talking to her telepathically. Well, that's not very nice. I didn't fight back. I didn't move. And you find out Jean was actually, projecting her consciousness, her presence. You know what? I wish The Last Jedi would have ended like this, to be honest. Instead of Luke just slumping over. That would have been much better. And so yeah, basically this is a ripoff of the ending of The Last Jedi. Not that was even too original, but yeah, so close together. Yeah, this just comes off as a ripoff. And Cassandra says, you deceived me. Well, yes, I'm pretty selfless, but I'm not an idiot. You're stronger than last time. I am, and I'm coming for you. We're all coming for you. But where Jean projects herself back and says, and gives this woke lecture. See, people like you, with so much fear and hate in their heads, you're always so quick to confuse empathy with weakness. Empathy isn't weakness, it just means we have something bigger than ourselves to fight for. And that makes us dangerous. You have made me dangerous. Jean, as Phoenix, you killed a whole planet of asparagus head people. You've always been dangerous. Don't blame it on her. And you're afraid of our compassion, and you're afraid of what it says about you that you have none. You're afraid that you're wrong, that you're less, that you're lacking. And of course, Cassandra at least is defiant. I will raise an army. They will march over your vision. They will crush your dream, Jean Grey, and I will kill you. And I'm not afraid to die for others. In fact, I'd argue I've gotten pretty good at it. I've done it a few times now. Pretty much everyone in the X-Men has. Come on. I'm not afraid to die for what I believe in. Are you? And then we cut back. Rachel's safe, but we need to contact Atlantis immediately. Why? Because we're going to war. Hey, look, at least Gambit got a line. There's only line in the book, why? So yeah, wouldn't it be great if they go to Atlantis only to find it in ruins because of what's happening in Avengers? So yeah, this is Woke Jean. This was hard to read. And when I say hard to read, it was just kind of cringy, I don't know, very every time they've written Jean, that at least that I've seen, that I've peeked in on, the writer is so self-righteous. They talk about how powerful she is. You know, they forget that Rachel also harnessed the Phoenix Force. So, oh yeah. Yeah, this was a lie. I picked this up because I was hoping for more Nightcrawler. Instead, we just had him basically asking permission to date Jane's daughter. And yeah, this book, it wasn't as bad as that annual. After reading that annual a couple months ago, it was like, nah, I'd never touch this book again. But yeah, the Jean Grey show. I kind of wish they had not even brought her back. That's a cool panel, at least right there. But anyway, this issue's dumb. And one final reminder, I'm going to try and do one more video, but Saturday night, I am giving the Thing figure away. I just don't have it at hand. It's in the other room. This is the second Thing figure, as I've said in my last video. Be sure to leave a comment below. Make sure you're subscribed. I want to know, what villain should Walgreens do a Marvel Legends figure of? And do a Cassandra Nova. Just take a Charles Xavier figure and put her in a trench coat. There you go. But yeah, I suggested Diamondback, and I've seen some good suggestions, and that some people have been leaving here. So, yeah, be sure to leave a comment, and you've got a good chance to win. And I'm gonna go to bed. I'm exhausted. I've been going since like 7 a.m. today, and it's like 1 in the morning. It's a long day at work. So, and I gotta be back in a few hours. So, anyway, once again, thanks for watching.